Welcome back to my Scooby-Doo ranking series, where I go through every iteration of Scooby-Doo and give you my favorite episodes. This video I'll be going through my 10 favorite episodes of Scooby-Doo and Scrappy-Doo. I didn't bother to finish seasons 2 and 3 for this, as they're very tedious 7-minute long episodes, where Shaggy, Scooby, and Scrappy run away from various things. Season 1 wasn't too bad though, with episodes that have a cheaper feel to the earlier series, but are still pretty fun nonetheless. Let's get into it. Number 10 is the Scary Sky Skeleton. In this episode, the gang goes to visit Daphne's high school friend Wendy, who is now a stunt pilot. However, a skeleton in a plane is trying to scare them away. This episode's airfield setting felt very uninteresting and dark, but the mystery itself was pretty good for Scooby-Doo and Scrappy-Doo.
Wendy, how's it coming? I fixed the last wire. Whoever cut them is in for a big surprise.
That shows you the quality of this show though, when a mediocre episode makes the top 10. But the good news is, it only gets better from here. Number 9 is the Sorcerer's a Menace. But the bad news is that it doesn't get much better. The Sorcerer's a Menace has a more engaging story and setting than the Scary Sky Skeleton, and has one of the better monster designs from the series. But it's only been a few days since I saw the episode, and already I barely remember it. I always prefer the episodes where the monster is trying to do something other than just scare people away, so the magician trickery with trying to steal the pearl was pretty good. Number 8 is the Ghoul, the Bat, and the Ugly. The two main things that I remember from this episode is the unhinged monster, another one of the better ones from the series, and the maze chase at the end, which reminds me of The Shining. While I think that the plot is weaker than A Sorcerer's a Menace, the setting is strong and unique for Scooby-Doo, being set at a horror show awards ceremony. Number 7 is I Left My Neck in San Francisco. Here's where things start to get a little better. There's a vampire running around in, you guessed it, San Francisco. Shaggy and Scooby think it's Daphne because both Daphne and the vampire have red hair, so they're basically the same person. Plus, Daphne is feeling unwell, and is never around when the vampire attacks, conveniently. I like the setting as well. I always enjoy it when the mystery setting is in a city with these older episodes, but unfortunately the monster's pretty bland, and I just remember Shaggy and Scooby being chased around a lot, with less of an emphasis on actual mystery solving. Number 6 is the Demon of the Dugout. Even though the monster looks goofy, his appearance with the green smoke is pretty awesome. I enjoy the baseball setting, and for some reason the random secret passages feel more interesting than they do in other Scooby-Doo episodes. I can't tell you I remember the mystery much though. I just put it higher than I Left My Neck in San Francisco, because it feels like a more complete mystery with less senseless chases. Number 5 is Close Encounters of the Scooby Kind. Another goofy monster, another cool setting. The reason why this remote country setting works is because it's perfect for an alien monster, and this episode delivers that. The mystery isn't great, something about stolen uranium, but I do remember the construction site and the fake UFO at the end. Apparently, all it takes to get an episode in my top 10 for this is for it to be memorable and not boring, but it's true. These Scooby-Doo and Scrappy-Doo episodes are just a more repetitive, lower quality version of the main show. Number 4 is the Neon Phantom of the Roller Disco. I wish that they had used the roller disco setting better. It might have been bumped even higher on my list if it was. My top 4 episodes are a tier above the other ones from the series, and a big reason why I liked this one was the monster. The Neon Phantom was my favorite design from this series, and even though the monster designs are definitely lower quality, this almost feels like it could be on the level of the monsters from the earlier versions of the show. I liked how the monster targeted places with lots of electricity to attack, and the way he's caught at the end is also very memorable. Number 3 is the Night Ghoul of WONDERWORLD. This episode has possibly the best setting of the series, with the gang being sent to spend a week, I think it's a week, at WONDERWORLD, a place based off Westworld. It has many areas to quote-unquote make your dreams come true, and because Velma wants to solve a mystery with Sherlock Holmes, they go to the old London section of WONDERWORLD and meet the robot Sherlock Holmes. I love the idea of the gang being essentially alone in London for an extended period of time, and the setting was utilized pretty well. The Night Ghoul is based off Jack the Ripper, and his design is another one of the better designs from this series. The main disappointment with this episode is that the mystery conclusion is pretty dumb, even for Scooby-Doo, because the villain's motive doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. Number 2 is The SCARAB Lives. The first episode of Scooby-Doo and Scrappy-Doo, The SCARAB Lives focuses on a comic book artist that has been warned to stop creating comics by his own character, the Blue Scarab.
The Blue Scarab? That's right, Sloane. You gave me life on your drawing board, but you will draw no more comic books. Is that clear? No more comic books.
Again, I'm a sucker for the city setting, and the mystery is consistent and makes relative sense. I like how the Scarab reenacts crimes from the comics, adding in a bit of texture to the world. The Blue Scarab himself isn't anything special as a monster, besides the fact that he looks like a comic book superhero. But overall, it's a very consistent mystery that was a good start to the season. And my number 1 is Shiver and Shake, That Demon's a Snake. I was tempted to put The Scarab Lives in this spot instead, because that one's more consistent, as this episode is higher highs but also lower lows. To start with the lows though, the monster design is terrible, and the mystery idea of Daphne buying an item that is wanted by the monster has been done before. The mystery itself also isn't as good as The Scarab Lives, but there are some very memorable aspects, in particular the clue about the cruise ship being higher in the water when the cargo is unloaded. On the other hand, I think the setting is great and I believe is completely unique to this episode, the setting being a cruise ship that stops off at different cities along the way. Also, the end where the clown driving the float is revealed to be the snake demon is actually kinda creepy and provides a strong ending to this episode. And that's it. That's my top 10 Scooby-Doo and Scrappy-Doo episodes. Keep an eye out for my next upload. I'll be covering my top 10 new Scooby-Doo and Scrappy-Doo episodes combined with the new Scooby-Doo Mysteries episodes. If you like this kind of Scooby-Doo content, make sure to subscribe and leave a comment down below on your favorite episodes from the series, or even possible video ideas I could do in the future. Have a great day.